Hey guys, what's up? It's great. I'm here with another video. This is the Ritualist Summoner build, right? This is the one I've been using for mapping, T4 pinnacle bossing, basically all this stuff. I dropped a video with the sekma farming. That was its own thing. But now this is the actual, 50% move speed, 1 million DPS, 9k ES. So let me go bottom line up front, right? Let's see all of it. Is the thumbnail bait? So right here, we have 51% move speed. We've got 9k ES. And our DPS for the minions, right? Sacrificing some minions, 25k. And I have 11 of them. So fully buffed, right? Now, it is kind of caveated. This is like full cooked DPS, 4 stacks of Sigil of Power, and with shock on. So 66.9. We do that math. 66.9, 990 times 11. Right, 736 times full stack of shock, 43%. What is that? Oh, that's multiplied. Hold on. Let's do it again. 736, 890. 736, 890 times 0.43. There you go. 316 plus 736, 890. Boom. A million and some change. A million 0.05 DPS. So, right, not bad for the Ritualist. We move kind of fast. But that's not why the Ritualist is good. The Ritualist is good because off of the passive tree, you can really customize a lot of stuff, and that's what I'm going to go into. I'm going to go straight into the passive tree first. Usually I like to talk about like the gear, skills, and then the passive tree, but the passive tree is what makes this kind of Ritualist super fun. It's like if you like to tinker and you like to dial things in, you can do a lot with the Ritualist. Yo, Latomico, welcome in, guys. Chris, welcome in. I'm shooting a video for YouTube right now, so you guys are perfectly timed to hang out. The thing with the passive tree for this, I appreciate the follow, Kills. The thing with the passive tree for the Ritualist, if you like to tinker, this is where it's at, right? You can get as high as like 60% move speed. And then with this new patch coming out, with 1 soul core, 5 move speed on the boot, that means I can get 70% move speed outside of trials with the minion build, right? 70% move speed with what? At least 8k energy shield and like a million DPS. So it's pretty wild. So let me show you this passive tree real quick. This is how I have it for this thumbnail, right? 50% move speed, 9k ES, a million DPS. So I'll have this link. This will be the one that's linked up. What I'm going to go through is how I like to customize it for whatever you want. So the first thing we're going to talk about is move speed, right? How do you get move speed out of this build? So if you want to sacrifice some energy shield, because I have 9k energy shield's a lot, with full resistances, right? And even then, we don't have Soulless Form. We don't have Eternal Youth. I've been playing in a 6-man party in a group, Delirium, stacked. I'm usually the last person to die, so I'm pretty tanky in like a sea of lightning spears and all that kind of stuff. But if I wanted more movement speed, right, it's pretty easy. What I do is I do switch my Megalomaniac out. So I have a couple here, right? This is my example. Talking about movement speed first. If I swap that out, that'll give me this guy down here. Escape velocity. There's another one down here for acceleration. We'll talk about that, right? And then I have another side amulet. This is my amulet for movement speed. You can change the anoint for 3 more movement speed. You don't really lose that much, right? 'Cause my anoint right now is right hand of darkness. It's nice. It's up to you if you want to get rid of it. For trial of sekhemas or something, or if you really have a lot of DPS, maybe you can just give it up and anoint acceleration. Or the other option is you try to find a Megalomaniac that has acceleration and escape velocity, which is going to probably cost a shit ton. So if you do that, right, we'll switch that over. And then let's get rid of some of this. Get rid of a little bit of energy shield. Right, so that was quite a bit of energy shield that I just lost. I'm at 7k. But now, look, see, 60% movement speed. It's quite a bit. And if you want to, you could sacrifice some other stuff. Like, depending on what you're doing. Let's say you want those 2 points of energy shield back. Let's see here. Oh, I changed amulets. That's right. So, if I put this amulet back on, I actually get quite a bit of movement speed. Or I get an energy shield, sorry. So, if I change the anointment of Right Hand of Darkness to acceleration, I would have had 8,800 energy shield. with the 60% move speed. But see, I don't have acceleration on it. So you can get really fast with this build and still have a really high DPS, depending on what you want to sacrifice. So we'll go into that, right? I did make some big improvements. Like I have this +1 minion helm. I do lose more energy shield, but I'm still over to 8,200 energy shield, right? With 57% movement speed and more than 1,000,000 DPS. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good, right? We're at 27 now. In the previous DPS check that I just did, we were at 25k DPS. So depending on what you want to change around, you can get a lot of DPS from this passive tree. Like let's say if you want to sacrifice all this energy shield. Right, let's say we'll get that. If you want to get really crazy and get rid of these, you can get a lot of DPS. Get rid of the movement speed. Right, we still have 2 points. Maybe take a little more energy shield. So what are we at? 7,700 energy shield. Still pretty high. But even more DPS for our minions, right? 32k now. Now we're at 32k. Now keep in mind, right? I did get this new minion helm. We'll talk about the gear when I price check all the gear, because these two pieces, this +4 sunsplinter and this like +1 minion helm, is more than all of my gear, right? I got this one first. This guy I got for 65 divines. That's more than all the gear that I'm wearing just for that one piece. So to get 50% movement speed, you know, with the 1,000,000 DPS, with the 9k ES, I did have to drop, you know, the build to over 100 divines for this like one piece. But that's if you want, you know, just those nice little numbers. But right, so just to show you, calculate the DPS. Go into this. Level 36 minions, 84. So that's quite a bit. And that's not even all the attack nodes, I don't think. 84719 times 11. 931. It's already almost 1,000,000 with shock. What is that? Like 1.3 million with shock. So pretty good. Pretty good DPS. Now keep in mind with the Lich, you're going to have even more DPS. This is basically only if you care about having movement speed and stuff like that. Hey Queen, welcome in. Welcome in. But see, so that's for the movement speed portion, right? I covered the movement speed portion. If you're willing to sacrifice some damage or some energy shield, you can have really high movement speed, up to 60%. And then once, at least for my build, up to 60% with the Megalomaniac. Well, shit, let me finish what I'm talking about. Up to 60% with the Megalomaniac, and then an anointment for acceleration, wherever it is, you can get 60% movement speed. And then once these new like sockables come in, that's another 10% on the boot. They're moving 70% movement speed outside of the trials, which is really good for mapping. It's probably going to be really crazy. I don't know how rare they're going to be, but I'll probably sell them in the beginning. Wait till they fall down in price, because it's probably going to be like, what do you call them? Perfect jeweler's orbs. Expensive in the beginning. Once everyone has them, price goes down, right? So that's the plan. So other things I want to talk about in here to customize. First, we talked about movement speed. We kind of touched on DPS, right? There's these nodes of DPS, but you have to sacrifice 5 points to get those 3. Right? I don't know where I would pull that from. Once you start to pull too much from energy shield, well, I'd probably pull it from here. Let's say if we wanted full DPS, right? I'd pull it from movement speed. Ooh, I don't know if I want to pull it from here. I'd probably pull it from here. Right? 7k ES. But now my movement speed is 46.5. Still pretty good. I gave in and tried the lightning spear build. No wonder everyone's playing it all stupidly overpowered. Yeah, dude, it is. It's good. But, you know, we're doing this for science and for fun. Like, the best way to be as fast as a lightning spear is to have a lightning spear in your party. We'll talk about also the benefits of the ritualist in a party, right? Because if you look at my, it's a good segue. If you look at my setup, I have 3 ever grasping rings, If I'm standing next to you and you're using a lightning spear, I technically count as a lightning spear build myself because I'm giving what 105% extra chaos damage. If I put on my party gear with my ingenuity belt, I'm giving 130% extra chaos damage. So I turn like a party of like 4 lightning spears into a party of like 10 lightning spears, which is pretty good. But let's look at this. So that's DPS, right? If we're going through DPS. The other things that's pretty nice about the Ritualist is you can actually get really low energy shield recharge rate time. Sacrifice some DPS, right? Because that's a pretty good quality of life. You can get it under like 1.5 seconds energy shield recharge, and it's not that hard. Hold on, let's take these off. Right? Yo, Kasu, how was the combo breaker? I saw the top 8. How'd you do? How'd you do on combo breaker? All right, so if you wanted to do energy shield recharge here, oops. Well, this is part of it. You have to take these nodes. You kind of want increased energy shield recharge rate. You don't necessarily have to have it. Take those 2. Take these 3. You can keep patient barrier on.
Not wrong with a new.
Right, 1.8. 1.8 energy shield recharge delay, which is pretty good, and you're still pushing a million DPS. A million and some change because we're at 28k. So there's a lot to like change and like move around. I saw you there like 100 times, but they was like, hey, I'm not 100. Oh, that's funny, dude. I got put in a pool with Atif, so I lost pretty quick. Damn, you got to fight Atif? Damn. Did you record it? Should have recorded it. Okay.
With a new approach.
So, right, that is some nice things you could do with energy shield recharge. If you wanted to, you could even get these guys down here. If you wanted to get like really crazy. But let's look at the times if you get rid of patient barrier. If you get rid of patient barrier, you lose quite a bit of energy shield. Right? Now I'm at 6k, but you're at like 1.4. You can sacrifice some damage for, well, let's go change my let's change this, right? Let's put in, oh my god, see, I even have quick response and shimmering. So if we wanted to, I could put in this quick response one and shimmering megalomaniac. What that does is it'll give me quick response, which is 20% extra faster start, right? So even more delay. I get movement speed, and then we need some energy shield, so I can take some damage away and still have a million DPS. 67. I need 2 more points. I can get those. So I'm starting to dip into more damage. Let's say I'll take this. All right, 7.4 k DPS. Are we still at a million? Yeah, we're still at a million. 25k with my setup is a million. So 25k, 7.4 with 1.3 seconds energy shield recharge. So there's a lot of things you can do to kind of like mess around with the game. Record it on my phone manually. Oh, nice. Post it later. I want to watch it. There's a lot of like little quality of life things you can do with the Ritualist because it has stuff like this. Energy shield recharge delay right here. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff, you know, you don't care about movement speed, technically you don't really need energy shield recharge start if you have like a lot of DR and stuff for mapping. So you're perfectly fine just like staying as a lich and playing as a lich and any other stuff, especially once the 10% runes come out for movement speed. You'll be playing a lich moving at like 45 movement speed, right? And that's essentially the same as this, 46. So it's like, why would you play the Ritualist, really? The answer to that is with the Ritualist, you can move at 70% movement speed. So you can move even faster, but that's kind of nice, you know? They buffed up the movement speed of the other classes, depending on the socketable of the boots. So those are some things you can do, right? If you want to focus on... Hell, if you want to just focus on, say, energy shield. Let's say, you know, what's the most energy shield you can have, right? Let's take a look. How much energy shield can I actually get? For that, I'm going to slot in this Megalomaniac, Left Hand of Darkness, and Calibration. Well, do I need calibration? Let me see. Let's change it up first.
Time to
I can
change
easily get
ways.
more than 10k.
What is it?
Let's get rid of all this delay. We'll keep some of it. We'll keep that. Right, we'll get that. Take this off.
What a re-
Yes.
Let's change my megalomaniac actually. Let's put in
reverse your
yeah, let's put in that one.
What is it?
I'm already at 9.2. Let's see here. I like having some movement speed. We've got that up there. Where is it?
Back to basics.
9.5, right? To get 10k, I just had 10k earlier. How did I do that? It's like questions, mysteries. Hold on, let me take a look. Where is it? Where is it? I don't think it's taken. I think I could take these two and I would have 10k.
If it first you
Yeah,
don't
10
succeed,
10k flat, right? And I still have some points. I have a couple points to put in for DPS. You know, but it's just going to depend on what you want to do. I could sacrifice this energy shield recharge to get even more. Our recharge delay is 3.3
not
seconds.
wrong with a new approach.
Yes.
Yeah, let me take a look at it. Here's our recharge shield delay, right? With 10k energy shield. Like if I didn't care about recharge delay, and let's say we're using the trick, right? The trick to start your fast energy shield recharge start with energy barrier. You can either spec into more DPS, easy like that, or maybe we could even go. Oh no, no. Right, get more. I'm thinking if I can get one of these. But yeah, you get the picture. Some big ones. Yeah, I already have calibration, so there's no point in going right here. I can get more 15s right here. Oops.
Back to basic.
Go on.
Why'd it give me a green one? Right there.
Adapt.
10.5. It's a lot of energy shield. 10.5. You know, you're moving a little slower. 46%.
The hour is late.
So there's a lot of like little customizations you can do. For me, preferentially, what I actually like to do when I'm farming, like through maps, and I'm solo, I like to have it as much DPS as I can. Let's see here. Take these guys off. Let's see how much energy shield I can get. Take that. All right, this is what I like to have it set. Hell, I might even get rid of this.
New day.
Oh yeah, that's plenty. 8k, that is plenty. Lately, when I've been farming, mapping, I actually get rid of this. I actually don't like taking patient barrier,
Not wrong with a new approach.
so I can have a low energy shield restart delay, like 2 seconds. And then I will take these guys right here, right? Put me at 7k, and I run around with 7k shield. 7k shield and as much damage as I can get. Got one more point. Here, let's take that point off. And take more recharge delay. Justin, what's up, dude? Welcome in. How's it going? We're shooting the video right now. Casting couch.
I'll try not
Right?
to cock
So 1.86.
it up. I'll
it's
try
pretty
not
good.
to cock it up a
I kind of like
second
using this to map because it's fun.
The hour.
But if I really don't care about DPS, I'll take more movement speed, which is this. I'll go right here and then take blur. So for the purposes of the video, I'll have it to in the POB, I'll have the passive tree set, the one that has 50 movement speed, 9k ES, and a million DPS. But yeah, right? There's a lot of fun that you can do with this build to like move around, change stuff around. Like really in mapping, do you really need, you know, living death? Like I'll cheat and take stuff off and customize it to how I want it, how I want to have it. Like if I take living death off, I can get even more DPS, which is 66. Hold on. What did I do? I like to have these three. All right, take off recharge delay. I think it's still sub 2 seconds without that. 2.35. Hold on, where is it? I was messing around with this. There's all kinds of stuff you can like mess around with to get more DPS, more damage. See, at this point, it's not worth taking these off. Take that off. We'll fill these two in. Boom. Have those three. I have 1 point. I'm wondering where can I put this 1 point? I'll stick it up here. To have 1.6. 1.6 recharge. 7k energy shield. And then the biggest thing though, that the one thing I'd say the downside for this is it is kind of gear dependent. It is gear dependent. I would think that's like the biggest downside for the Ritualist. It's more like end game build. If you really want to have that DPS breakpoint where you're doing enough damage where it feels good, you're gonna want like level 36 storm mages. That's kind of like the biggest downside for it. As what I'm feeling when I play this. To get like the biggest benefit from it is you're gonna want that. If you want movement speed. That's why I have been thinking about it with the sockets on the Lich, you'll be moving at 45%. So the biggest difference is with those new sockets, I'll be moving at 56%. So I don't know. I'm still kind of like thinking about with these new sockets how we can achieve it. I'm thinking what they're gonna do is they're gonna have a socket for a +1 minion skill. If they have a +1 minion skill socket, oh my god, on the scepter, I don't know. I don't know what's going to be better. Either a 30% increased damage or a whole minion level. It kind of sucks if it's on the scepter. Because if it's on the scepter, it's like you can't have the best of both worlds. But yeah, so that's for the passive tree, right? That's how flexible the passive tree is and then what you can do to it. So let me cover the actual nodes and stuff that I take for the passive tree. So your initial nodes, right? 30% reduced mana. Take that. Then you want your extra ring. We'll take these ring bonuses. Then the movement speed into Whispers or Ritual Sacrifice. Now the thing with Ritual Sacrifice, this thing sucks. I used to think it was good. It was good before level 90. Before level 90, there was no cooldown on Ritual Sacrifice. But now, well, as soon as you hit level 90, there's like an 8-second cooldown on it. And it's terrible. It makes the move totally unusable. So that's why I don't have anything slotted into it. But then this is the best area to take because, you know, that's the best thing you can get is the movement speed from here. And this thing is really nice. Mystic Attunement. This is where the other half of the Ingenuity Belt went from Season 1. Is into this Ascension node. So that's where it is. Then as for my general preference for the passive tree, I go this way. I take Step Like Mist because it's 1 point for 4% move speed. Then I like to take this, Shimmering, because it's just like 2 points off the branch. We'll go this way for 1 jewel socket. Come around here. And then you can take this nice little section. This section right here is actually really nice because there's increased energy shield recharge start. Right? There's 30% right here. And then this node right here is another 25. So that's a free, what is that? 25 plus 30, free 65% of increased energy shield recharge rate. So it's the cost of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points in this little area. It's kind of nice. Melding is right here too. It gives you a lot of extra energy shield. And then coming up here to Relentless Fall and then this whole cluster. You can, in one of my Megalomaniacs, I have a Relentless Fallen one. So that way I could free up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. And then you could allocate those 8 points. You know, you can go down here. That's 5 points right here. and then you can use the other 3 points if you don't need minion life to go over here, right? But then I just haven't found a another megalomaniac that has relentless fallen and like, you know, left hand of darkness or right hand of darkness. I like this one. I got this one for cheap. You just have to go on to times of days and just kind of keep looking for prices and stuff, because this one gives me chaos res. But we're putting the cart ahead of the horse. Let's continue on. Coming up this way, I got a second socket, and then just the usual stuff. Ooh, I didn't take this. Let's go take that. Well, we'll leave it for now. Right, usually you get Vile Mending. You're going to want this if your minions are low. You want them to have maximum elemental res, because you'll see that they'll die. If you're like a level 34s bossing with like multiple parties and stuff like that, or even T4 Pinnacle bosses, they do tend to die, which kind of sucks. But I think that's a problem with pretty much all minions until you're high enough level. Right, taking Lord of Horrors, and then down here, getting all these guys. As much of these as we can get. The only thing I don't take is this increased maximum life. Unless I have an extra point, maybe I'll take this. This whole minion cluster. Presence area is always good. I did mess around with presence area on the boot, having two, what do you call them? 2 wisp souls or whatever, 2 talismans of presence area. You know, it was actually really good. But then now with like the new sockables of movement speed coming out, oh man, it's gonna be hard to even wanna take presence area over movement speed, right? And then this increased spirit is in here. This is just depends on you, whether it's enough for you to get a whole minion or not. With that 1 point in there, I can get a whole cleric, so that's why I have a point over there. And then coming down here for a socket. This socket, you can put whatever you want in it. I have presence area. Ideally, if I could get one, it would be presence area, increased damage, attack speed, and maximum energy shield, but I can't find one and it's too expensive. And then the usual stuff with Sigil of Power, all this green stuff. So that megalomaniac I have is actually giving me calibration, so it's really good. Here's another set of points of energy shield if you want to take it. It's 5 points for, what is that? 40, 50, 65? Right? So that's the passive tree. That's how I have the passive tree built out. We could talk about the skills now. Hop into the skills. Right, I already kind of covered Ritual Sacrifice. Ah, it sucks. It's too bad that this sucks. Now that there's a cooldown, it really does suck. It's nice that if you get like the movement speed buff, you know, on luck, but now you gotta wait. You can't just spam it. You gotta wait this whole 8 seconds, and it really takes you out of fighting to like have to do it again. Because I used to have energy barrier on that. Energy barrier when you're leveling or before you're like, before that cooldown appears, it's really nice having energy barrier in here. You could just spam Ritual Sacrifice and it'll proc energy barrier for you. Now, with that said, right, I guess we're kind of jumping ahead. Energy barrier is really good, right? It immediately begins your recharge start if you get hit and stunned while it's casting. It does require a little bit of sometimes of enemy knowledge, whether they're gonna stun you or not. The other thing too with that is if you decide to play that way, you kind of really do need faster energy shield recharge rate. Because I did try playing that style without any energy shield recharge rate at all. And you can get overwhelmed if you take too many hits. Even if your bar is recharging, you can still die. So for quality of life, if you're playing that way where you're just spamming, you know, energy shield recharge by trying to get hit, you need to make sure you have fast enough energy shield recharge rate. All right, next thing, Skeletal Warrior minions. I've got Sacrificial Lamb on them. I got Maim, the slow. Death March, and then Culling Strike. It's always good. Usual stuff on Sigil of Power. Magnified Effect, Persistence. I did upgrade and get a +6 minion staff, or chiming staff, or +6 all spells. Because whenever you do it, right? Whenever you do your weapon swap and you use your Sigil of Power, instead of level 18, it becomes level 24. Which makes it big as fuck. Right, it's nice. Get your 4 stacks, free 54% damage. If you price check this, we'll go right ahead and do it. I bought this for 3 divines. I think it's only 1 divine now. All you need is +6. That's all you care about. Oh, wow. 4 divines. Dang. I literally saw this one day and it was 1 divine. So it really depends on what you're doing when you check the prices and stuff like that. Okay. Let's see here. Next thing, Terracotta Soldier. Infernal Legions on him. You could switch this to your Skeletal Warrior if it's easier for you. The only reason you want to ignite enemies is if you're running Stormfire on your Shock Mage. I have Coursing Current to spread shock. So if you take Coursing Current out and you put Stormfire, it'll basically be shocked until Ignite goes out. So next thing up, Skeletal Sniper Minion. This guy. I just threw in a bunch of minion level gems, Martial Temple for extra damage, and I used to run Scatter Shot on here, but I use Fork now because I noticed with the Ritualist you have lower mana pool. So whenever you drop gas arrows, it basically eats up all of your mana. And I find it kind of annoying. So I got rid of Scatter Shot because I haven't even really been using the gas arrow lately. So instead I opt for Fork. Fork just to have, you know, just a little bit of extra damage. How much damage does this guy even do? 9k DPS, so it's not nothing. Right, and then Voltaic Mark. So you can use this guy at level 7 to get a lower dexterity cost. Since we're using Sunsplitter and we have 100, I just use a level 11. I might even get a higher level one. Because what I've noticed with Voltaic Mark, because I started using this to try to spam, right, to get my energy shield recharge rate, I didn't realize that the explosion from Voltaic Mark, my little level 11 mark, actually does quite a bit of damage. This Nova, it's 200 damage per use or whatever. It actually has been helping clear in Simulacrum, surprisingly enough. So I was thinking I might want to see how high I can actually level this to see how much damage I can get. But when you put quality on this as well, your shock increases from 45% on a marked enemy. So 30% shock from your Storm Mages, your Shock Mage right here, becomes 43%. So kind of boost your damage as much as you can. So these are the supports on a Storm Mage. I've stripped away to help with lightning exposure. So the exposure amount is higher. I think, what is it by default? I forget what it is by default. 20. So with exposure, I think it's 27. Or 20, what is it? By 20%, 20% increase? What's 20% of 20? 25 total? No, that's 4. Well, whatever it is. Anyway, so conduction in here for higher shock. Yo, sorry, how much did Map Master make you last night? Oh, we only partied for a little bit. I had to leave because I'm getting too old for DGen hour. Should ask him, how much did I make him? How much did I make Justin last night? From streamer client. I was playing with the streamer client and we were getting hella drops. So the other thing I have in here is overcharge. Increases your shock by 50%. So your 20% shock is 30, right? This is the whole reason why people have 2 Storm Mages. They run one on the side. In reality, you really only need one if you're going to boss or something really needs extra damage. Otherwise, I would just go straight DPS, right? Just because if you're just killing white mobs and things that die fast anyway, there's really no point to have a shock bot. It's really just there for, you know, bossing or rares, or if you're really doing some content where stuff takes a while to die, or like in a party, for instance, right? You're helping people out. Let's see here. Main DPSs, these guys. My Storm Mage is level 36 now, thanks to the mob who are going to break my legs if I don't pay them back. Feeding Frenzy, Arcane Tempo, Muster. I hate Muster. Now that I think about it, I don't like it. I don't like that we have to use Muster because it takes up all these unnecessary slots. Like I have to have a fucking statue guy here, right, for extra damage, when really I could be putting some other thing in here for some multi-combo button pressing type of gameplay, which is the vision. But we can't even do the vision because of this, because of Muster. Muster takes away from the vision. I think in total I made about 30 divs yesterday. No way. From last night? From that one session of doing Breachstones? Consider my debt half paid. No. But anyway, right, so that's why I don't like Muster. Like, to me, I don't like this. I wish they changed this. I wish they fucking changed Muster because it's just taking up spaces, man. Like, I can't even have Blink on weapon swap because of Muster. Instead, I have Convalescence here that's bugged. So that's my gripe with Muster. It's just like some extra shit that I mean, it's nice if you have clerics and a rattling scepter to add extra damage, but I wish this wasn't here and it was something else that didn't take up slots, skill slots. Controlled destruction is what I run because I don't know, for me to I could play crit, but I have to use a lot of points on the passive tree, so I just opt not to play critical hit. I'm sure you could make a build with this and just go full crit and forgo some stuff like maybe minion resistances, or get rid of some energy shield. If you have a lot of energy shield, you can get rid of these movement speed stuff that I've been doing and just go full crit. Or if you're on a lich and you're playing a lich, you can go full crit, have even more DPS, right? If that's all you care about is critting and stuff like that and high damage, the lich is the way to go if you don't care about like movement speed and all that other stuff. LOL, no in total. Okay, gotcha. That's still pretty good. 30? Damn. How many breachstones did you run? That's all from breachstones? That 30? Okay, so... Right, so that's why I run controlled destruction. What else you could put in here is you could put elemental focus, right? So you could still crit. It's just that, you know, now they can't shock. Now you're relying solely on the shock bot to shock. So it really just depends on you, you know? And if you put in control, if you put in elemental focus, your tooltip DPS will go down, which doesn't make any sense, right? Because it's still 25%. I think it's still 25% of elemental damage. I think it's the same 25%. It could be 20, but I think it's 25, right? So it's the same 25 multiplier and your tooltip DPS goes down. So, you know, messes up with your, it plays tricks on your brain. And then I have a lightning mastery in here. You can even slot in another mastery jewel in here if you want. You can put like minion mastery in here. Get level 37 minions. But I like to have controlled destruction in here. At least for now. Maybe if I find a reason to take it out, I'll take it out. And then we have convalescence in here. I'm missing 2 support gems in there. I like to run ingenuity in there for sure. Where is my skill gems and my support gems? Where is the ingenuity? Here it is. And then second wind. Second wind, it's kind of like case by case. You have to like police yourself to not use your energy shield and spam the button twice. So if I'm just doing normal mapping, I prefer ingenuity by itself. If I'm doing pinnacle boss stuff, I prefer a second wind in there. The reason is because, oh, like 50? Wait a minute. You did 50 breachstones and you made 30 divines? I'm squinting really hard. That sounds like a really good deal. Maybe that's what we'll do. But back to what I was saying. So the reason I'll put second wind in here is because whenever I fight a pinnacle boss, like let's say the expedition boss, if he hits you, right? This goes hand in hand in why I hate CI, but we'll just touch on why I hate CI. In a long sustained fight, right, where you don't have HP, when your energy shield gets low and you're running around, and let's say you have 3-4 seconds to recharge and you're like at 10% energy shield, you'll hit convalescence, right? And then it goes on cooldown without second wind. The recharge cooldown is 23 seconds. If you don't get that charge back up in 23 seconds and you get hit and you're low again, it puts you in panic mode. And that 23 seconds can feel like forever, especially when you're low at like Olroth, Expedition Boss. Expedition Boss, that's a random spawn in a random drop map. You know what I mean? To get a random fucking potion that's worth 12 divines. You know, that's the time where that fucking 2% of chaos inoculation sucking ass, that's where that 2% shines. That's why I hate chaos inoculation. It's those 2% cases where there's 12 divines on the line. Chaos inoculation is going to fuck you every time. Right? But other than that, chaos inoculation is great for getting cheap gear and for mapping and stuff like that. But that's why I'll have second wind for pinnacle boss content and stuff. So last guy, minion right here, skeletal cleric minion, last gasp, elemental army, minion mastery. I guess it is good that I have elemental army in here because I'm missing this last point, at least just for this passive tree. You could easily just fulfill that. But if you have maximum res, this is kind of just a dead socket. You could just put whatever else in there. I don't know what to put in there, so I just put in minion mastery and last gasp. My pain offering, expanse, more space, ablation, font of blood, and then meat shield. As far as I know, I think font of blood works on minions. I know it works on me. right? It works on me because I can see it, right? Font of blood. Does it work on minions? Life recovery, 1170. Wait for that to die. Yeah, so life recovery went down to 10. Wait. Let's wait. At work right now. My replies might be really slow. Yeah, no worries, dude. Thanks for hanging out. Life recovery still 1061, 1064, huh? Well, it definitely works because it did go up. It does go up when we have that up. Doesn't go up by much, but it's something. 3% of life or something like that. And then conductivity, the last one. Heightened curse, focus curse, hex bloom, and then inspiration. For the fifth one, I don't know what to put in here. Because if you put anything else in here that increases the cost of your curse, look how much mana it uses. Boom. See that mana bar? It just eats up half my mana bar. So if you put in another fifth socket and it increases the mana cost multiplier, it uses like 75% of your mana bubble. That's probably the worst thing about the quality of life for the ritualist that kind of really always sticks out in my mind is how my mana has to like be managed. But it's not bad, right? Okay, so that's all that. Skills. What to cover now? We did passive tree. I guess we should talk about chaos inoculation a little bit, right? I kind of ranted about chaos inoculation a little bit. I should talk about it a little bit more. Like chaos inoculation. Chaos inoculation is good on the ritualist because on the ritualist, chaos inoculation, you don't have to deal with the downsides of chaos inoculation on the ritualist, right? If you have chaos inoculation on the lich, you have degenning mana if you're taking soulless form and eternal life, which sucks because then you're always worried about not having enough mana. And then on the infernalist, it completely bricks the ascendancy if you have chaos inoculation. So on the ritualist, it's nice. You can take this and you don't have to worry about those downsides. You can actually use it to its full benefit with all the stuff in your passive tree and then getting yourself cheaper gear because you don't have to buy gear that has chaos on it. And it also negates all this extra chaos damage for yourself because even though I give my allies 105% extra chaos damage, I'm actually giving enemies like 25% extra chaos damage all the time. So it's almost like an extra mod of damage every time 24/7. And if your minions are low level, it makes your minions get hit really hard. Your minions get hit really hard by all those rings. So that's another reason why being high enough level with enough skill points and enough good gear is kind of like a prerequisite for the ritualist to have. Now, when they die from that extra chaos from the rings, it's not so much like a thing that happens all the time. It's more so a 2% thing. Like, once again, you're going to feel it in like Simulacrum. Simulacrum's where you're going to feel it, where your minions are going to die and they're not going to make it. And I was seeing this problem a lot with level 34 minions. I had to really tailor my passive tree for chaos inoculation doing simulacrums, which was kind of a pain in the ass. All right, so the last thing to cover, we just did the skills, the passive tree, all kinds of passive tree stuff. We'll cover the gear. So the gear that I've got, it's pretty much all the same gear from my previous videos with a few upgrades for sure. We'll talk about some stuff. The big upgrades are this +1 minion helmet and this +4 sunsplinter. The old helmet I used to have was this one. Right? That helmet gave me a lot of extra energy shield. I can easily have almost 11k energy shield with this helmet. This 491 energy shield helmet right here. And then these gloves. Where's my other gloves? Let me put on these other gloves. Where's my other gloves? Is it these ones? Maybe it's these ones. Okay, it's these ones. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about the gear a little bit. All this stuff that I have. Right, 75. Hold on, let's change the passive tree around to be a more evened out passive tree instead of focusing on energy shield, recharge delay, and stuff like that. So this is a passive tree that, you know, a person's more likely to have. Something even. You don't have to worry about too many things.
Try not to cook it up a second
Jesus
time.
Christ, 10k energy shield. Okay, I could sacrifice some energy shield. That's a lot. That's a lot of energy shield. Cool, tight. Let's get rid of this. Put that in there.
Adapt
Okay.
or die.
So almost 9k energy shield, right? Max resistances. Hold on, let's go use these gloves. These are the cheaper gloves. Use the cheap gear. So okay, so even with cheap gear, I have 8.5k energy shield, which is a lot. I know, well, let's go price check everything. We'll go into a little price checking scheme. My scepter, right? Only things that matter. 4. We'll match it. 49. Increase that. We'll leave it. We'll say 45. All this other stuff doesn't matter. 7 divines. Still pretty pricey. I got this original scepter back in the day for 12 divines. So I could maybe get an upgrade. This is kind of an upgrade. No, I don't need accuracy rating. Don't need critical damage bonus. What you ideally want from your scepter is you want something with cast speed. Why that's important, right? Because this thing can roll as high as 16% cast speed. And if you get a perfectly rolled 16% cast speed, that's 4 sapphire jewels. That's 4 perfectly rolled sapphire jewels in your scepter. So that's kind of the most important stat that I would say if you're looking at scepters. If you can get it with cast speed, increased damage, and all this stuff, perfect. That's perfect and exactly what you're looking for. The chiming staff, we already covered that. This thing was 4 divine. You just want one with level of all spell skills. Oh, here's one right here. 1 divine. So this just popped up. See, so don't buy one for 4. You can get one for 1 divine. You just gotta wait. It could be someone setting a trap, you know, trying to RMT price fix, or it could be real. But I bought mine for 3. So if one comes up for 1, that's a steal. Ever grasping rings. Let's look at my perfectly rolled one. This is a 30 and a 7%. You know, I forgot to talk about the positive side of these ever grasping rings, which is cast speed. Look at that. Not too bad, huh? Well, this is 9%. If you find one with 2 chaos, 2C, Jesus Christ. Cast speed goes up to 20 on scepters. Oh, wow. So, okay. Thanks for fixing that, Sticks. So cast speed goes up to 20% on scepters. That is huge. That's huge. That's 5. We're talking 5 sapphire jewels of perfectly rolled sapphire jewels on a scepter. I didn't know they went up to 20. I always thought it was 16 like attack speed. So good with the save. But if you look at ever grasping rings, right? 1 divine. So 3 divines worth of rings. What? 7 divine scepters. So that's like what, 10 divines for these pieces. 11 if you want this chiming staff. You can go cheap. Now this helmet I got with 491 energy shield, but it has no resistances. Let's go see how much this is. I can't remember what I got it for, but it was not over 5 divines. I paid some ridiculous price for it with a 2 a.m. buff. It was another one of those nights of 2 a.m. buff. So 2 divines, right? 445. It's pretty good. What if we go 490? 5 divine. So you can get a huge energy shield helm. The thing is, you know, it's not +1 minion. My +1 minion helm with 370. Where is it? This one? This guy was 48. That's a lot, right? Let's go price check this one. This one was 48 divs. So let's look at this. There's no resistances on it either. I got it with straight energy shield. Nothing even exists. Let's take out the base type. 120 for a 390, but that's 390. What about 300? 60. Wow. So, oh, this also has fire res. So I got mine for 48, no resistances. So all these have resistances. Yeah, 2 a.m. buff. 2 a.m. you get good deals. Chest piece. Right? Or you just don't get a +1 for a while. I was holding off for a long time, not getting +1 on the helm and not getting a +4 sunsplitter because I wanted a +2 prism. But then the math for it, for the total cost of these, is less than a prism. And I get, you know, my nice 1 million DPS 3 out of 3 thumbnail. So that's why I opted to just pay for it. And to be honest, it feels a lot better getting these upgrades now instead of waiting for a prism to get my +2 and keeping my old gear. Because now everything is smoother, feels faster, there's more damage. I could imagine if you're on the Lich too, doing the same thing, probably be easy to get 35k plus on the Lich with all the extra damage. So my advice would be, if you're playing Storm Mages, instead of doing what I did and waiting for a prism, saving up enough for a prism, you might as well just upgrade and see if you can get a cheap +4 sunsplinter, and then maybe a cheap, decent energy shield helm with plus minion level. Because then it'll just feel better that whole time. While you save up for the 140 divines that you need. Because my thought was that the price is going to keep going up for prism, so I might as well get it now. But after getting these upgrades, it's like, do I really need the prism now? I can kind of clear everything. It would be nice to have. I could clear everything even faster, but I think this is fine. So chest piece. Jesus. I got lucky with this chest piece. Because my chest piece is 12 divines. 12 to 15. It's either 12 or 15. I can't remember, but it is not 40 divines. Hold on. Let's go see what we can get. Maybe we can do like a... I think 720 goes a lot lower. I might have paid 15 for the chest. No, I'm pretty sure I paid 12. 750, huh? Yeah, it starts to go down to 10 once you're at 700. So a way that you can kind of relax this price is if you ditch one of these resistances. If you can fill those resistances out on another piece of gear so you can have an empty slot, you can easily get, see, 837 unqualityed, 9 divines, 1 resistance, 796. So filling out these other spots would be super beneficial. But you got to balance out how much actual energy shield you can get with resistances on these other spots for a better deal. All right, next up, the amulet. The amulet's the other moneymaker. This is the one where it's also like, I don't know, freaking 12 divines, something like that. Right, minion levels 3. This thing has rarity on it. I wouldn't even put rarity. I got lucky with the rarity. It's got 45 spirit though. See, it starts to go into the stratosphere. Ooh, I paid 12. Man, I think it might be time to start gambling with Alva to get a +3 minion skill amulet, because this is kind of crazy. It's all because the level of elemental res. If you take that off, 5 divines, right? It's all because of that. The other thing you're gonna want, I forgot to put in here, is increase maximum energy shield. Dang, and there's nothing. Let's take off rarity. 28. It's all because this increased maximum energy shield. This guy, also a minion player, has dark entries on it. Right, probably for snipers, and then abandon the snipers. Yeah, that's rough. You gotta stay top on the prices. What if we put in 30? 13? That's not bad. 43. Because with, oh, this is with quality. Okay. 13%. That's not bad. It's way better to pay 13 than whatever difference is. because I only have a 50 on mine. I bought mine with a 45 and I qualityed it to 50. Ooh, but yeah. What is that? What is that overall cost right now? I still think we're under 60. With today's market prices, you can be over 50 easy. The sunsplinter, I just got this. It does suck if you get a +4. If you get a +4, it's a lot, right? If you get a +3, it's easy all day. 4, 58. Ugh, I lost. I bought mine for 65, right? These are being sold here for 58, so 7 off. I might put this up for sale at night because at night I think there's less stock of sunsplinters, and in American hours there's more stock of low cost 58 sunsplinters. Right, so you can get a deal writer 58 for a sunsplinter, and American market hours. And the Nasdaq. The belt, or let's go do the gloves. 278. These are my cheaper gloves. But are they really cheaper? It's double res with int. Wow. Take off the base type. Wow. Take off the int. 6 divine. Okay. Still a lot. That's about how much I got my gloves for. And then let's look at these monster gloves that I got. These ones, these are not real. These gloves, I got this with a 2 a.m. buff, and I bought this from a guy, unqualityed, only 2 resistances. It didn't have that lightning line in there, but I got it for 2 divines. I want to see how much this is. This one is insane. It's 346. I can't believe I got this. 50 divs. Wow. I literally bought this for 2 divines. And then I whittled this. I stole some poor new player's luck in Clearfell, and then I whittled this extra resistance on it. But ideally, this is something that you're more inclined to look for right here. Something like that. The belt. The belt is about 1 divine. It's pretty cheap. Triple res. Even less. Look at that. 3. Might be time to upgrade my belt. Well, no. 28 cold, huh? Let's do 32. Oh yeah, 1 divine. Okay. But now I got 40 fire. I could maybe get something with more elemental res. Or lightning res to get max res. And then the boots, the last slot. Now double socket boots are gonna be all the rage when this new patch comes out, because those new rune sockets for +5 movement speed. This is one that I got from a drop. I got this as a drop early in the campaign. That's why it has rarity on it. I don't even use it anymore. But 2 divines. So pretty good. But once you start putting in the energy shield in there, it starts to go up. Right? Anything over 220 energy shield starts to get really crazy if it has rarity on it. Take the rarity off. There you go. So pretty decent. Once you start to put rarity in spots, it becomes a ton. But I don't even use these boots anymore, and I can't sell them for whatever reason. These are my new boots. I settle for energy shield instead. Energy shield with the 2 sockets. So that way, whenever I take these 2 runes off and I add in movement speed or something else, I'll still have about 240 energy shield. 240 or 230. Cool, so that's my gear, right? Let's talk about the last thing, is the ingenuity belt. This guy increases your damage by a lot. The only thing is, you have to be able to have maximum resistances with the ingenuity on. So I kind of mentioned it already a little bit. It turns your 105% increased chaos damage to like 130, because this thing is, and it's cheap. A max resistance ingenuity belt is what, 30% on each? What, 30% is what, 1 divine? 2? You get one that's Technicolor too. If you put 29, not perfect. What the fuck, dude? Don't even bother. Don't buy a max one for 2 divines when you can buy a 2930 for 6 chaos? Yeah, don't even do that. Why would you do that? No. No. Who cares? Who cares if the numbers are not perfect? Who fucking cares? Nobody cares. And then, right. Different helm. How did I do this? Different glove. There we go. And then what I would do to get my maximum lightning res is I'll slot in some runes. I'll slot in like a... Instead of this minion take physical damage as lightning damage, I'll put in a lightning rune in here. I used to have a double socket sunsplinter, and then that would be enough for to get max res on my lightning. But then really I only use this ingenuity belt if I'm partying or something, or for a special case, because even though it does give you a lot of extra damage to your minions, it's kind of not worth all the extra damage that they're going to take. Right. So if I slot in that helmet, 8k energy shield, max reses, so 30k, not bad. 30k DPS without having all of the attack damage nodes. So really now with all this stuff, with the +4, this +1, the build is definitely over 100 divines. But without these two, this helmet and this thing right here, the sunsplinter, it was right under 60 when I got all the prices for it. If you have to buy it now, you gotta kind of have to wait and be lucky. You gotta be lucky with the drops that you get, or the times that you go shopping. All right, so this is my build for my gear, how I have it now. Last thing to talk about is this guy, this socket. So the new patch has new socketables. Those are coming out. It's kind of interesting to see what's there. Obviously, everyone's gonna try to put movement speed on the boots. For this guy, I kind of wonder what's gonna be available. If they bless us with a socket of +1 minion skill, and you can put it in a shield or armor and not the scepter. Oh my god, it's gonna be fantastic. But until then, I run 10% of physical damage taken as lightning. You could even slot another one of those runes somewhere else, so you have 20% physical damage taken as lightning for your to help your storm mages live. It basically gives your storm mages altered flesh for physical damage, but it, you know, takes it as lightning damage instead. And then how I have it in combination with this, that's, you know, 40% of physical damage being like reduced or taken as something else for your storm mages, which are your main DPSs. So that's kind of something I like to do for the runes. I'm curious what 3 Ventors gambles with 20 Spirit would feel like with the ingenuity. It'll give you... We could do the math right now with this. Zizo, what's up, dude? Hell yeah. Hold on. So ingenuity, right? 20, 20, 20. So let's say the left and right ring with the ingenuity 30%, right? So that's... Oh, we'll do that after. Well, no, we'll do it now. So what is that? 40? Shit. Times 2, right? 40 times 0.3 for the ingenuity. 12. So that's 53. So remember 53. Oh, no, wait. What is that? Sorry, hang on. I'm doing this wrong. Times 0.3. So 12 extra from your ingenuity. So let's go do the 3 rings. 60 times the passive 0.25 plus 60 plus 12 from the ingenuity. 87% increased spirit just from 3 Ventors with the ingenuity, with the passive skill tree. Now we didn't even add in the Grand Spectrum Jewels. I don't know when the Grand Spectrum Jewels get added in. Is it after everything or before everything? Because 18% of... Does the Grand Spectrum Jewel get added to the base percentage of the rings? Let's do that, right? So let's say 60 times 0.18. Oh, shit. Fuck, that's 80%. 60 times 0.18. 10.8. So plus 87. So that's 97.2.8. So 98 free spirit with 3 rings. That equates to, what is that? 3 storm mages? pretty good. Pretty good deal, right? If you decide to have 3 Ventors gambles. The thing is, though, 3 Storm Mages does not more, right? Because right now I have 105% increased chaos damage. That 105% makes it as if I have 22 Storm Mages. So if I get rid of those 3 rings, and then I add in Ventors gambles for Spirit, I just end up with 3 more. So was that 14? 14 Storm Mages. But then I don't have that 100% increased, chaos damage from those rings. So I think the rings are the better choice for in slot. The thing is, though, you do get like, I mean, I could see getting 1 Ventors and then getting 1 Storm Mage and then keeping, 2 rings. You could probably do a mix and match, something like that. For now, I kind of enjoy just having 3 of them. And then I don't even have them corrupted. If you corrupted them to higher than 30%, like 36%, that's a lot. That's 130%. So, I have 11 Storm Mages. I'm doing how many Storm Mages worth of damage with that? 11 times 2.3. That's like having 25 Storm Mages. If I had perfectly corrupted Ever-Grasping Rings. But yeah, so that's the gear, right? Covered the gear, passive tree, skills, all that kind of stuff. We'll do some mapping and then some T4 Pinnacle bosses. That map, it's irradiated level, so it'll be a level 80 map. I'm gonna run a map with pack size. This is just for fun, to show you like mapping speed. So pack size, number of monster packs, increased pack size. Nothing too crazy. Just energy and a extra maximum life as energy shield. Right, on a 30 quant map with level 80. So what is that? Level 80's T16.
Grants no favors.
And then this is the passive tree that I have. I've allocated it for movement speed. So, right, a 57% movement speed. Not the 60 because I'm using a different amulet. I don't want to change my anointment, but this is it, right? Since it's mapping, I don't really need maximum elemental res. The minions are level 36, so they have a decent amount of life. Right, and I'm focusing more on energy shield recharge. So my energy shield recharge is 1.8. Energy shield 7k. And then, for move speed. And a map that's like just stacked with thickness, girth. Try to find a wall. Damn, where's the walls? No walls? Here's a wall. Wait, no walls. Right, the Delirium 2 it's only like 22% pack size. So it's not like I'm using Paranoias or anything. I should have used a Paranoia. I think it would have been better. Dang, no walls. I totally went the way that had no walls. Or I must be either in the middle of the map, maybe. Here, let's just keep going this way. Where's the wall? Holy shit, there's a lot of monsters. Another way you can play too is, remember how we talked about energy shield recharge on Voltaic Mark? Let's see. If I just keep casting, see my energy shield just starts recharging. So all I do is I just walk around super slow, hitting Voltaic Mark until you get hit with one of these blue guys. See, put that up. And this is one way you can play. It's just it's kind of weird. You're like just Voltaic Mark walking. Like it works. As I'm getting hit, energy shield just immediately goes back up. But you really need to have faster energy shield recharge on there. If you just have stock energy shield recharge and you get surrounded by something thick like this, there's a chance that you could die. Hold on, let's see the strong box. But yeah, so it'll be nice once if you're able to get 2 of those movement speed cores, in your feet with this, you'll be moving like pretty much 70%. That's fast. It's funny too because Voltaic Mark actually helps with clear speed quite a bit. I didn't realize that was the case. You just kind of chill. The thing is, you have to be back next to your minions, which is why another reason why I hate presence area. I hate that they did that. They didn't like people just like hiding in a corner while your minions fought. But there's so many conditional things to get all the damage out of your minions. You got to be close to them. You got to have your totem up. Got to have all the sigils. Let's go follow this wisp. Hopefully it'll give us something. Probably not going to give a shit.
Don't lose him now.
The faster start of recharge is always nice.
Cut it down.
Is that a monster? Is that the rare? Let's go back down. And if you want to be as fast as a lightning spear, all you need to do is just have someone in your party that's a lightning spear user, and you can be just as fast as a lightning spear as a lightning spear build. Ooh, stellar amulet. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much mapping. So you can map however you want to adjust, whether you want more shield or more damage. But really the whole focus is because of this movement speed, right? The whole reason we're playing this, quality of life of movement speed and stuff. Which is kind of like an interesting perspective from the developers. Adding in movement speed.
I need more time.
I guess too many people are complaining that it's slow moving towards the end. And the thing that I hate is like, we're talking about at some point you should feel powerful, right? And in season 1 with minions, that was the case. At one point you felt really powerful. You felt really, really powerful. In this season, shit. I don't know about that. Takes me a while to kill Xesht. So hopefully somehow that levels out, and you know, we can get to that at some point. At some point we can feel like real people again. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention too. The cast speed. Cast speed, because of the Ritualist and the 3 rings, cast speed is really nice. That's something that I forgot to mention for quality of life. Quality of life for cast speed is really nice. Like, the curses just go out really fast. You really it's really noticeable. So it's like a lot of sacrifices for not having as much damage. You're gaining like movement speed, cast speed, all these little things. Like, look at this curse. Boom. I barely even stopped running. Because I think the cast speed amount that I've got is 28%, something like that. Which is pretty high. That's a lot. Almost 30% cast speed. Because I think to play a Frost Mage, to play DPS Frost Mages, or to play casting Frost Mages, you need, I think, 45%. So I'm already like 1 item away from that much cast speed. I could literally just put it on the amulet. With thing is though, you do need a lot of mana, so I don't know how you're gonna get around that. Minions are dying. Maybe it was a bad idea to take off what's it called? That one spot. Nice, we got a lot. So 4,700 tribute, right? Anything good? No. Well, no. Could have been good. And that's pretty much the gameplay. So it's nice being able to move around, roll through. You can kind of roll through, teleport them on you. And the other thing that's nice too, the Ritualist is in party. In party, you provide a lot of utility in party play. All right, so we're doing a T4 Xesht. I'm going to talk about the setup that I've got. I'm running this with a maximum energy shield recharge. This is the preference that I'm going for. As much damage as I can get. We're around a little bit over 1 million. And then I'm running a lot of energy shield recharge because it's kind of just what I feel like playing right now. I only have 7.6k energy shield, but my energy shield recharge delay is 1.6. So I'm going to do that. As lit, you can have up to 9 sockets as you can get. Oh yeah, that's another point, right? Counting one twice. So that's true. The sockets. So with the build, if I decide to go sockets on a Titan, the Lich will always have 2 more sockets. So there is that. It does have that. So here you go. Let's do this. I think some people have been having trouble getting to this guy. I mean, I've been getting to him. It's just you do have to kind of get your minions to, there you go, get a big crowd going. Get them all destroyed. There's another big crowd. Pull them in. All right, get a big crowd coming. I'm not even cursing. Because I used to just try to run through everything, and it was kind of holding us back. It was making me get to the end with only like 1 second on the clock. Whereas this, I've been doing this recently, and it's kind of more manageable. I think later, once they buff Breach or whatever, to have more rares, you'll be able to kill more rares and have more time. See, like small packs like that, you can kind of just go through. I'm looking for a big, nice, juicy one. Watch me not make it, right? Okay. Keep going. Go through these guys. Oh! My fucking... Oh, hang on. Oh, I don't have convalescence. There you go. I pressed weapon swap. I usually make it with like 30 seconds. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm talking. There we go. The timer's gone, so we made it. Right? Like even walking and waiting and stuff. It does suck that your minions are in the back. So like, you gotta like wait for them to catch up. That's why I feel like presence area is such bullshit. It's like they want you to have presence area so you're not like away from the action, but then it's having this unintended side effect of like them being so far behind you and not being able to do any realistically good damage. Is this good? Titan with minions? Yeah, dude. In season 1, that was the only way I 3-shot Xesht with my shitty gear. I had like mid-tier gear and I killed Xesht in like 3 hits. My record for all the other classes was killing him in 4 hits. So I think there's something there, especially with the movement speed buffs. And then on top of that, the thing is too, right? Why it's so attractive to play a non-witch class ascendancy is because if you're trying to get cheap gear, right? If currency is not an issue for you, then that doesn't matter. But if you're trying to run like cheap gear because of chaos inoculation just keeps you from using the right side of the passive tree with the lich, and it just fucking bricks all of the what's her face, the infernalist. Let me see if I have everything I need. I think so. Whatever. Cut my wrist. And then killing this guy is just playing the game. There's really only one way I've died from this guy is if that hand claps on you, like the one-shot hand. If that one-shot hand hits you, yeah, this one. If this hand lands right in the middle of you, yeah, you'll fucking die. I didn't know that. I try to make sure my minions don't die. But see, my energy shield recharged immediately before the next attack. So it's kind of nice. I will say the other thing that sucks with the Ritualist is how low your mana is. Because look at my mana pots. I only have 3 left. So I have to like be mindful of my mana usage. Come on. Don't get hit. Then there you go. It's a little easier to dodge them with 45 move speed, which is going to be the same with these new sockables. Everyone's going to run 45 move speed. Everyone and their mom. So, you know, you could probably just stay on the lich. The thing that's attractive is, dude, you could have 70% move speed with the Ritualist. 70%. That's fast. That's basically Hairboon from Trial of Sekhemas. Outside of the trial.
A bad dream.
Redo this again. All right, I just died because of, I don't know, whatever. Wasn't paying attention maybe, but this is the setup again. Have a little bit of recharge. I'm actually not taking patient barrier, so I can have under 3 seconds recharge. And then 7.9 KES. I died because I kept getting hit in between casts of this, and I got hit 5 times with an AoE attack.
You've stood against so many horrors and survived. I think it's time to at last test your limits.
Like, it definitely still works. Yo, Captain Tryhard, what's up, dude? Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. I hope your spinny fire build is going well, you know? I hope Tuesday's treating you well. And dude, I was at work today, right? And there's a door to this bunker and I couldn't get it open. I was like, dude, am I fucking weak? What is going on? It was like seized. It's like a rusted like bunker, right? And I had to get in there. And like the top was stuck. And I was like, dude, is it me? And then I got my tire iron out. I fucking wedged the door. I did the old physics thing, putting a lever, trying to wedge the door open. No give, right? I was like, bro, there's no way. They said they just got in here last week. Like, am I weak? Like, it's a huge steel door, by the way. Well, long story short, eventually I had to get a dude that was like 6'6" tall to open the door. And he was applying leverage from a way that a short person couldn't apply leverage. Even the door was fucking height racist, dude. I was like, oh my god, dude. I can't pull leverage on that door the way you are, so I couldn't get it open. It was the dumbest shit. I was like, I had to get a tall person to get something off the top shelf. I can't believe I couldn't pry it open with the tire iron. I had a tire iron, but I was wedging it from the bottom corner, and it was the top left that was stuck. It's like this huge rusted door. It was like nothing like feeling like a kid again as a 40-year-old man. I know the feeling because I'm 5'1". Yeah, see, dude, like, oh my god, dude, I I can't get on this ride. I can't get on the roller coaster. Fuck. I'll wait outside, guys. Stay outside the club. How can you hate because you can't even get in? But yeah. But, you know, got the door open. Everything was saved.
Need a moment.
Man, I can't believe I died on wave fucking 13. Okay, let's get this through. Man, I really miss season 1. Season 1 damage. I wouldn't have to do any of this shit season 1. I could just fucking stand here.
Almost a challenge.
And it wasn't like it was a 20 divine build either. My build in season 1 was like 180 divines, dude. Almost, like probably 200 too. You know, it wasn't like I was standing here with like 20 divines worth of gear.
Let yourself be drawn into the mire.
Yeah, I swapped the blood mage. Oh yeah, 4k HP spinning is nice. Yeah, that's super nice. Are you like leeching health too? Because blood mage has built-in crit, right? It's got crit on it. I think you're right, Sticks. I'm gonna take away this guy. There's no need for that homie. You know, there's a strat you can do with minions too. Like if you want 3% crit chance on your main storm mages, what you can do is you could put blindside. You could socket blindside in here instead of like controlled destruction, and then you put blind on your shock mages. Your shock mages will blind, and because they're blinded, they get an extra however many % chance crit from blindside. So that's another one if you're crit stacking. You get like a free crit off of a support. It's not very much though. I think it depends also on the overall number. I didn't like it because the overall number wasn't as much damage as me going straight straight DPS. Lol, when I did a minion, I spammed 9 Valguards. Yeah, dude, the Valguards, I can see why people like them. I just don't like them. 1, I can't see anything, and 2, there's that delay before they attack. That delay was like, it's the same thing with the I don't even know what they're called anymore, the arsonists. I didn't like that delay, dude. The airtime of the arsonists, and then also the delay with the Valguards. Because pre-nerf, I was trying this with Valguards, trying to see if I could clear Simulacrum with Spectres. Not good. I tried this also with snipers, right? Level 37, Prism of Belief. Fucking level, yeah, you know, pimped out snipers, not as good either. The clear is not as good as the storm mages. But single target damage, dude, snipers all day. All day. So many of them. Easy to break armor now. Yeah, I run blind and maim on my sniper. Oh, nice. Yeah, dude, if you put blind on your storm mage, he blinds everybody. Everyone's fucking blind, dude. No one can see.
Are you trying to cleanse yourself of me?
So it's a pretty good tech for your shock bot. It's too bad the shock bot can't maim. Otherwise, that would be kind of hilarious. I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay. I wish Ritual Sacrifice didn't have a cooldown, because that was the best. It was so long, dude, that like it was like a free energy shield recharge every time you did Ritual Sacrifice. Blind, main, fork, gamble shot, and acceleration for my sniper. Yeah, that's true, man. I have levels on him because I want him to do a little bit more damage. Maybe I should just make him straight up just fucking debuff. Right? Because it's not like he's doing that much damage. It's 9. I mean, it's 9k. It's not nothing. But
Hold on.
maybe it'll help out with survivability more using debuffs. Could be beneficial. A wide belt. Wide. Fat belt? Blind, maim, fork. So why do you have fork and gamble shot? Because isn't that contradicting itself? Because gamble shot's making it 15% less damage, and then fork makes it 25% less damage after forking. Is there like a benefit to having both, or are you just filling stuff in? Where's my totem? The fuck? Why is it taking so long? Why is the...
Need a moment.
Did you see that? Why was the cooldown so long for my pain offering? Was that a mod? Blind maim, reduce evasion on mobs. Helps a ton, I think. Oh yeah, for sure. But what about having... You have two attack modifiers, fork and the gamble shot. I should put blind on my shock mage, dude, because less evasion is lower crit chance too, right? Isn't that the case? Crit chance is lower if you're blinded. It's like another layer of defense. Arrows go everywhere. Okay. Oh, you're just trying to apply blind? Gotcha. Should put on a pierce and a scatter shot. Pierce everybody. Or yeah, right. Pierce and fork maybe. Blind with spin is OP. Yeah, everything gets blinded. You can put maim on I thought you couldn't put maim on him. Can you put maim on him? I'll put maim on him right now. Oh shit, yeah, I'll put fucking maim on this guy. Hell yeah, I'll put maim on him. It's culling strike. What? You can put culling strike on this motherfucker too? Since when? Since when could you put... Am I the only... Am I tripping? Am I high? Since when could you put culling strike on this guy? I must have missed the boat on something. Yeah, because I want slow for sure. The whole reason I don't have maim on him is because I thought I couldn't put it on him. Whole reason I don't have culling strike on him is because I thought you couldn't put it on him. I always thought you had it, huh? No. I could have sworn you couldn't put fucking culling strike on this guy. Weird. I thought culling strike was only for attacks, like physical melee attacks. That's the whole reason why I never put it on him. I thought I tried before. Maybe not. Oh well, whatever. Found out something new. Update the POB. Damn. Well, thanks for telling me. That's the only reason I don't have culling strike on him. Otherwise, I'd always put culling strike on him. I hate this needing mana shit. I'm actually surprised. I was mistaken. I thought you couldn't put culling strike on him because it was a melee hit, and I thought I remember trying to put it on him before. I guess not. Oh, what? Oh, man. Nope. Ooh, rarity. Armor and energy shield. I run Withering Touch, Maim, Culling, Master, and Fork. See, even Withering Touch. You can put Withering Touch on a sniper? I thought that wasn't the case. Oh, maybe you're right. Wait, no? I must be misremembering. Dude, I probably haven't played snipers in a while and I forgot. Because I would totally put Withering Touch on him. I must have been like missing a part of my brain or something. Because that's the only reason I put I slot in 3 leveling jewels, because I didn't know you could put maim on them. Because maim is great, dude. Slow them down. Okay, cool. Damn, I can't believe I haven't had Withering Touch on him. But then, even then, Withering Touch sucks now. I wish Withering Touch was like Season 1's Withering Touch. So then we can have max stacks of Wither all the time. But even then, I have Right Hand of Darkness, so I think it'll help, right? I have chance for Wither from Withering Touch. And also from, what's it called? Right Hand. Okay. Wither also nice on ST. What is ST? Damn, I can't believe I'm missing part of my brain right now.
Pack's full.
Oh, single target? Yeah. Like, I took off Withering Presence because I don't think it's worth it. I was killing stuff way before full stacks of Wither. And maybe on a boss it's nice, like Pinnacle boss. Fuck, that just got wrecked. Mana. This is not good, is it? It's not like surprisingly good. Oh, weird. Oh no. What's happening? Why is my sidekick not working? Uh oh, sidekick's not working. Can't price check. Okay, whatever. Because I do like... Yeah, I have Right Hand, which is nice. I have a really nice Megalomaniac that gives me Withered Away and Spiral. Spiral into Depression. It's really nice. It's just that I like this one with Calibration instead.
No mana. Wait.
Don't die again. Kill this guy.
Ought to come in handy.
Okay, last one.
Believe me, you will fall exile.
Dude, that guy's fucking just running after me.
Need mana.
There you go.